what they mean to. Alright, so that's like what I'm on about. Like, I'm just gonna dive straight in. Like, that's what I'm on about. Lemurian seeds, how in the world do they affect me? Like, what do they have to do with anything? And like, why do, that's what I had to question. Like, that's what I question. Like, come on, Lemurian seeds, like, you guys are, like, these living, oh, snap. It's a living, I think it's living. I don't know what the crystal is. I don't know more about crystals other than keys and stuff. So, like, it's just, whatever. It's not whatever, but it's just like, this is not good. It's just, I just feel like it's just a tone. Okay, to be honest, like I felt a few hours earlier, it's just a tone. It's just a resonant tone. There's different types of crystals, channeling crystals, and et cetera, et cetera. But, it's weird how old they are. Like, when you think about how, excuse me, how ancient, that was pretty funny, how ancient, the actual crystal is. I mean, the crystals grow, but they're from Lemurian times and they're found in South America and Lemuria. I think. Well, actually, I don't know where the continent was. If it's either in the Atlantic or the. I'm pretty sure it was in the Pacific. I'm gonna research that, but I don't really need to. Anyway, I mean, crystals vibrate, they resonate, they just give a vibrational resonancy, and we're ascending. So, like, crystals were used a lot in the Lemurian times for healing. They were used, so like that means that they have purposes and they're charged, and you know, energy can be focused in them too. So it's just a thing where it's just like, it's a possibility to create stuff like that. So I encourage it. I encourage the use and all that stuff. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Oh, and to use your own interpretation. I use Gaia, so that's what I need to do. Let me get in there. Oh. It didn't pause. That's weird. Oh well. It just seems like cycle speeds. I can indirect. I can interact. Indirect. I can directly, like, enter direct. I just make up words now, right? That's just all I do. Anyway, this just sounds. The sounds, whatever, dude. The sounds from the Lemurian times, whatever. And it's just like, oh. Like, what do these crystals do? And they're for everyone, and they're old. Some of them are old. All of them are old, and they are put in the sand, like the pointy end down into the sand, and you just feel the resonance with the they resonate with you, they vibrate with you, or something like that. Like, you can put your attention on the crystals, and the crystals will have to vibrate at a higher frequency. Like, you will have to vibrate at another frequency, so the crystals will have to vibrate at another frequency. And you have to. Like, it's just a shift, and that's their responsibility, the Crystal Kingdom. And so, like, think about it. Like, the Ascended Dragon, the Crystalline Ascended Dragon, Crystalline Kingdom. I mean, that's like what it's all about. One of the things that life is all about. When you think about it, like, oh, I'm an intelligent being who's a dragon, who has dragon lineage and understanding. So I just use that dragon to, like, what dragons do. That's cool though. Like, that's been on my mind a lot lately. The Ascended Dragon Collective, like, just all that stuff. And so the thing is, like, it's always radiating. The sun, of course, is always radiating. The sun's radiating energy, as the spiritual source is endless, infinite, eternal. It is eternal in essence. The aspect of just like light going into. And it's like the things that are known were always known and always productive and always that stuff. It's just entrance into a cyclical cycle. So it feels like I know for certain I can enter in the cycle or just be aware of the cycle at any time, at all times, and just be like unattached to it. So. I just find it amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just how productive and innate we are. I mean, it truly is an interesting thing, but there's no... I'm just flabbergasted. When you think about it, it's just so blatantly amazing. Just how the simple thing of hiding truth in plain sight, or just like the things with Ashtar. Like Ashtar, like I know is like a great commander, and obviously like he knows about the sector and this part of the galaxy and all these beings. And all the stuff that, he knows about things that... He knows about Earth, and he knows about Gaia, and he knows about Nova Gaia, things that are going on Nova Gaia, higher dimensions, all that stuff. Lots of celebration. And that's the mindset. That's like... you must be celebratory. No. It's just like... I feel like I don't need to explain it. There's no point in saying it. No point. There's no point in saying anything that has to do with just ridiculousness. But and the point is, if there's so many higher vibrations, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I don't want to take part in... It's just ridiculous. So, I'm not going to bring it up, but I'm just going to say Orange Shore said some really awesome things. And that, of course, Soph is really awesome. And kids are really awesome, and young people are really awesome, and their generation is finally waking up. And that is what my focus is. And that's one of my focuses, is to awaken that mantra, awaken that openness, so that we can actually do things. The things that can actually become more productive, and we can be more free. And I can actually do what I want. And not be... who knows? Who knows? What I was going to say... I don't know what I was going to say. I have a lot of questions about crystals, though, that's for certain. But that's what they're there for. They're there for communication, for absorbing energy, for releasing energy, for transferring energy, for channeling energy, for storing energy. I mean, that's what they're there for. Storing memories, storing ideas, storing info. And there's already stuff stored on it. So, I think that's what we should focus on. But, that stuff is already known. it's known now that, like, oh, wonderful, we got crystals. We needed to use them. We need to know how to use them. We need to discover it, and we need to have fun with it, and all that stuff. And it's like we don't really need to. But what's the point of having questions and making choices if it doesn't have to do with what we can implant and imprint and be implanted and imprinted on by things that have been here for thousands of years? Even if it wasn't here for thousands of years, how the heck do we forget about Lemuria and that culture of what created language in the first place? Is it just something that we just say? We just foment this language thing, and we just know that there's translations and just not have any respect for? And what is this discovery about Lemuria that nobody knows anything about, hardly anybody knows anything about? Is it about nobody knowing what anything is about, even though, what is his name? Gosh, not coming to the, remembering the name at the moment, but whatever his name is, Adam of Telos, says specifically that there is a transition and all this stuff is happening, and maybe it's not happening fast enough, but it's not about speed, obviously. But there's just consciousness upgrade that has to do with, like, oh, once we walk, and the thing is, like, whose choice is that? We make that choice. We already made that choice. That was celebratory back in 2016, having to do with, but are there still aspects? Who knows? Probably not. Anyway. There's no question for that, though. I don't think there's aspects for whatever it's called. I'm not allowed to. Who knows? Whatever is happening, dude, it's happening. I'm not delivering and like, oh gosh, these are just words that are coming out of my mouth. It's unbelievable. Everything that I say just seems to be non-positive. Everything. Just seems, but it's not. It's just not attached. Several things. Adam of Telos. Heart of Telos. There's lots of love there. We have galactic family. We know that we're always surrounded by our family and all that stuff. Senate masters, fairy elders, great people, great beings. We need to. Or not, we need to. I always say that. Like, we need to. We gotta do this, we gotta do that. We need to. Need. There's no need for anything. Lemurian seed crystals are all about just the energy just that they portray. Just wonderful things. Great. I was gonna say, like, I don't know what it is. I don't even want to say it. Like, what possible experiences are going on that says that we're headed in any direction other than peace and paradise and sustainability and stability and order and all that stuff. And just what I mean to say is that there's actual evolution going on. Who knows what the negative part was? But I don't even want to have it enter in my mind. The thing is, like, seeds, crystals, Lemurian seed crystals. It doesn't have to be Lemurian seed crystals. It's just crystals, which are, a lot of them are just buried under. And we gotta explore. And it's like, come on, like, that's what been. Anyway, I would love to explore the Lemurian undergrowth, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm able to do. But who wants to do that? Like, who wants to do that with me? And that's kind of what I want to do. But I mean, it's dangerous, though. I'm not gonna lie, because those beams are so freaking powerful. Some of them, at least from what I researched, who knows if that's even true? But this invisible light beam that disintegrates things, and there's no need for disintegration, right? We have replicators, like, come on. And they're replicators, first of all, so there's obviously more abundance. So all that stuff. Who knows, dude? Who even cares? Who even cares about intergalactic stuff? Who even cares about the fact that there's inner Earth? Who even cares about Agartha? Who even cares about, like, I don't know. I've been saying the same, like, I think he's been saying the same things, too. I think Miko's, well, I don't know, with Miko. He's been saying the same things. I don't know. But I feel like Adama... Well, I don't really know. I think I should really renown. I think I should know, like, what is his aspect? What is his aspect? What is he, like, you about? I gotta go in his brain, like, that's what I want, obviously, right? I want to go. No, I want to discover, and I want to take some people with me. Well, just have that project out there. It doesn't have to be. Who knows? Who knows if we even have the equipment? I mean, what's the point of going to somebody else's equipment and something that's lame instead of using the equipment that's great. And I've said that so many times, but what does great equipment mean? Been around for thousands of years. Ships, starships, spaceships have been around for thousands of years. Things that last forever, those things are great. Things that don't break, things that don't need to be reconstructed. But humans are going to be constructing things over and over and over and over again. So is that something that we should do? Sure, we should continue that. But anyway, I'm digressing. Mount Shasta is a very, very high vibrational place. So that's one thing that's just the absolute of this celebratory celebration that just happened. And it's just like a constant, whatever. Like, Tua has a constant for something like that. Anyway, so if like was incredibly intelligent, and maybe it's just more important that I speak directly. Like if I had, and I planned on inviting, also the person who did the cover for Homicide, 16-year-old, it's called like 16-year-old is covered for Homicide, inviting you, and, well, I still have a bunch of other things to do, but, I don't know if Intergalactic is crazy or not. Is it crazy? Like, when is it not crazy? When is Ashitar not crazy? Like, if Ashitar, I don't know. Those are his words. I mean, those are my words, not his words. What am I saying? I just gotta be responsible for myself and be my own commander or something like that. Whatever, dude, who knows? But all I know is that I gotta be patient. And that's a great thing. That's all what evolution is about. If I want to be, like, galactic, then I'm obviously missing a lot of things. Obviously. Because there's just no point. There's no point in recognizing something like that for no reason. Because, like, recognizing it for no reason, it means recognizing it for no reason. For some reason, for no reason, for some reason, no reason. Whatever. Whatever's happening, it's happening. It's just now moment stuff. I mean, who even has a clue what that would be like? You know? Like, I feel like I've already done it. It's already just cyclical. That's what I gotta remember, cyclical. The Marian cycles, I feel like that's a thing. I mean, I'm the headmaster. Why am I complaining? Who knows? What the thunder and lightning will bring, who knows? Maybe the storms are coming in my dreams, maybe the sun will shine on one. All that stuff, all that jazz. Just like periwinkle loveliness, just whatever. Just like add purple flair to it. One of the things that's really important about creative expansion is just that the stuff that just happens to come from inside. Like, I feel like I don't need to repeat all the stuff that Klein said, but I feel like there's, like, aspects that of my stuff that are coming out and that are just really great, and all that stuff in jazz and blah, blah, blah. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows the importance of Lemurian crystals and their charging energy? Who knows the importance of mountains and being able to move them? Who knows the importance of anti-gravity and all that stuff when it just doesn't matter? It really doesn't. But then again, I have the task to release reality. I have to release all the stuff. Like, I'm so used to, like, oh, I gotta get a house, and then so dumb, dude. So stupid. Gotta get a when you can live in. There's no reason to make an example. We gotta support ourselves in the. This is obviously sarcasm, what I'm just about to say. We gotta support ourselves in the economy when there's already a golden city called Shambhala that we can live in. And there's so much room in Argartha. We can live there. But that means we'd have to build and grow stuff. Who knows, right? It's different, right? It's different. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless when it comes to light work. I know what light work is, and I know what a low warrior. I know what a low warrior is. I like low it, whatever low means. Who knows what that means? Maybe I'm better at channeling than others. Who knows? Maybe I should try channeling, or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I don't and do and then have and can't and then don't and should and then have and then went. Just making up words. Wants. Wantability. Wantobology. Wentos. The study of want. It's just really, really creative. I mean, when you think about it, there are things to study, and the things to study are like the areas of like fields of like just like whatever. And I don't know like if that's like what I'm attracted to, or whatever I'm attracted to is attractive, or whatever. But things are just like whatever. Like, why even bother? Like, why even bother being sentient? Or, excuse me, why bother being sentient to another being when you're sovereign to yourself? I don't think I know the answers. I think I'm still discovering. But who's to say what discovery is and what discovery isn't? Who's to say, like, what discovery should be and what discovery isn't? And who's to say that anything is different from trailblazing? Who's to say that there's anything different from firebending? Who's to say that there's anything different from just eco correction, mastery, manifestation, all that jazz, all that whatever it is. It just seems like there's an aspect that's not fully characterized in a category that just is categories. Like, we think that things should be put in boxes. Nobody thinks that things should be put in boxes. What am I saying? Nobody. Why do we put the word we? No we. There's no we. There's no we in team. There's no I in team. There's no we need to do this, because there's no group effort. We have to recognize it's a collective. There's nothing else to do. Like, what's Telos going to do with, like, a separated planet when there's already economy that's awesome? Like, economy, like, that's supposed to be the focus of things? No, that's ridiculous. This is a stupid broadcast. But the point is, like, there's just newness. There's just newness. Like, just letting go. Letting go of those projects. Letting go of those realities. Letting go of all those radio shows. Letting go of all those paperwork, letting go of those documents, letting go of those books, letting go of everything else that has to do with anything else other than those crystals. That's the only thing I want. It's the only thing I need. Crystals. Crystals, 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 crystals. Crystalline DNA. Crystalline DNA. That's all I need. It's like I know it's within me. Like I know it. It's like all the stuff is just like awesomeness. It's whatever, dude. It's whatever. Who knows? Who knows? It just seems ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, what's the point of victory stuff if it's just what it was? Like, all that stuff, so many things, a freaking investment catalog. What the heck? It's not a catalog, it's who knows what it is. It's just things that come and go. Just 3D, 5D, 10D, 12D. 3D, 5D, 10D, 12D. 3D, 5D, 10D, 12D. What the heck? It's just this cyclic, cryptical, cractic, aptical vibration of just whatever it is. Just a cactic celebration of just stuff that just happens. Like we're supposed to create a path of stuff that we already did or didn't do or didn't want to not kind of sort of maybe a little bit do. Action, whatever. Who knows? Who knows what it is? It's just ridiculous. The amount of just weirdness that is the plane that we live on. It's just some plane of existence that just goes. It just goes like, oh, category, be in this category. Things are falling apart faster than ever. And things are coming together in terms of warriors of light and warriorship. More than, not warriorship, but light workership for light. More than ever. Just stuff that's not dense. But like, who is to say like all this stuff about like all these ridiculous stuff about these projects, stupid things about Project Lightspeed, stupid things about Project Hypercanes. It's just repetitive cycles that I've already created. There's nothing stupid about it. There's nothing silly about it. It's just awesome and celebratory, and maybe it should have gone greater than it already was. Who knows? Maybe I should let go of that past, of holding on to Lemuria and holding on to the galaxy and holding on to Telos and holding on to Shambhala and having those goals and focusing on them all the time and then just resonating with myself, just being happy and then releasing and then gathering and then releasing energy. Just having energy stored within me, storing energy. Just wonderfulness. Just doing that over and over, just creating. 12D90, 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 12D90. Different dimensions jumping, who knows? Whoever has to fulfill a certain thing in a certain dimension wants to fulfill. Like, oh, you have to see that, blah. You have to do this, you have to, blah, blah. Come on, like, what in the world are the Arcturians doing? Like, that's my question. Like, that's what I gotta ask. Like, oh, I'm not blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm supposed to know what Arcturians non-physically communicate. Like, who cares? Who wants to know about that stuff? Who even wants to know about the who wants to know about anything that has to do with anything else than anything that we have to not do, that has to do with things that I think that were important, with things that don't even matter, with things that didn't matter, because of the holding aspect of it. Why would you cherish a project when it's just a non-physical entity? Why would you cherish Project Hypercane? Why would you cherish Project Local Earthshaken? Why do I even cherish these projects? Project Rejuvenate, Project Immortalize. Like, there's differences between the little alcove thing that I just said in between the statements that I made. Who knows? Who has a care in the world about a reality that has to do with higher vibrations and not a reality that has to do with lame denseness that's just ridiculous and unnecessary cycles of ridiculousness that have to do with stuff that's not pure and stuff that's not healthy and things that aren't curable. It's ridiculous. There's a solution all the time. Like the solution is just, the solution's way over there. We gotta go all the way to Solera to figure out when we're gonna be actually patient enough to handle this thing. We gotta go all the way to a different galaxy or different universe, different multiverse to really interact with these archons that are just doing all this. Like, what is up with that? Like, how do I even know that stuff still exists? How do I know there's still darkness on the planet? Like, how do I know that? Like, that's my purpose. Like, what do I just repeat? Heaven on Earth is being created, Heaven on Earth is being created. Like, what is up with that? Like, jazz. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Who would focus on something as sincere as that opening of the North Pole, or who would focus on something like the Inner Sun, or who would focus on Shambhala or the different cities that are all throughout the Agartha network? It's just wonderfulness that's going on and on and on and on. It's huge and it's big, and I feel like the heart matters. I feel like that matters and cares, but what does the heart do other than beat for this vessel that's just continually spouting the same stuff about this celebration and being on the surface and not knowing that the rest of the world knows. Not knowing, like, okay, these are the dark archons, this is what they want to do, this is what you gotta do to rise above it. Like, come on, like, nobody says that. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody's gonna say that. Nobody's gonna, like, letter your heart. Write a letter to your heart. Whatever, dude. Like, something else outside of me is gonna give me happiness. At this point, ridiculous. So it is, right? We always gotta, like, live from within or be creators and be like all this stuff, and it's all higher vibration anyway. All higher vibration, all higher energy, all that stuff. What is up with that? Who even knows what that's even about? Who even cares about higher vibrations? Who even cares about just, like, living beings that are biologically, organically, like, electric and etheric and just higher vibrational? No, there's dense parts in it, right? No. There's nothing dense about us. Who knows? Maybe the dark archons or darkness is winning, and maybe there's just nothing to be done about it because there's no such thing as Agartha, right? I think that's awesome, though. Accomplishing goals. That's a cool lyric. But that's it. But anyway. So much can happen in just, like, a literal sense. Like, I just want to, like, that's not gonna happen. But whatever, dude. Fifth dimension is, like, here. But, like, what are the aspects that we have, that we see, that we know? Like, where are they? Like, we gotta look for them? Like, we gotta send out energy spirals or something ridiculous like that? Who knows? Who even has a care about something like that? Who even has that comprehension, Who knows or cares? Oh my gosh. Absolute ridiculousness. Absolute ridiculousness. And I should open up the chat, and I don't know why I haven't done that. But it's just whatever, like, It's just whatever. I just know, like, this is super funny. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, when you think about it, like, the Khazarian Mafia, this is the funniest thing, like, ever. Like, literally the funniest thing ever. And it's just so weird, like, when are we transitioning into that realm? Like, is being patient worthy? Is being digressant, like, noticeable? Like, is it just, blah, 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 just blah all the time? Just blah, blahness? Just blahness. Blahness, that's not even a word. It's just miraculousness. Because there are obviously no such thing as a negative reality. There's no such thing as a violent reality anymore. No more. Just peace. Peace, love, and greatness. And unconditional love. That's a powerful force. And I say that all the time. What's there to fear when there's love? And I say that all the time. It's always been that powerful. It's weird. Saying, like, oh, it's all about power now, right? I have to be powerful because I acknowledge certain things that happen in my life. Ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous. Things are good when you think about it. Things are good. Things are good. More or less. Well, not more or less, just things aren't good. Just filling in words every now and again, like why that would be the purpose. Blah, 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 blah. Just go blah, blah, blah all the time. This is the same thing as saying, like, whatever. Dude, I can't even think of anything to say anymore. And this is, like, the time of, like, the most prepperous celebration, exhilaratorily, like, goodness and all. Oh, knew it. Where'd it go? It was right there. It was in my pancreas. Found it. That's where the fire is. Fire. Interruption of the fire. Who's interrupting that? Dude, that is so not cool. I should just be more bold and stuff, right? I should just be more creative, right? I should just be more, like, freaking on point. Isn't that correct? Isn't that so? Nespa? Like, who knows? They're like, I feel like I should be even more on point. I feel like I should be more of a character. Like, I was super excited about the fundraiser that I was having until I realized that, like, there's so much more I could do. With, like, there's so much more I could do. There's so much more I could do. And, you know, like, I like it. Like, I mean, it was a huge celebratory thing. And, like, okay, fine. Like, dude, like, obviously it's great. Like, obviously it's great. But, like, what do I, like, emanate that's different than that social thing? And that's so different. It's different. It's amazing. It's like there's a mentality that I have to be that's other than the mentality that I have. Because the mentality that I have is an unhealthy mentality, accordingly, to everything that exists. Like, there's no such thing as greatness, so there's no such thing as production. It's ridiculous. Like, what is there to do? What is there to say? Like, when there's new things and new frontiers and new stuff that's always been there, and then just creating among it, and then just doing a bunch of stuff, and then just saying it's great, and then being a part of it, and then not being a part of it, and then just uniquely trying to do something new, and then saying that maybe that perhaps isn't the right way. Who knows? Who knows at all? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows what the thunder and lightning will bring? Things are slightly changed. Things are slightly different. It's just it's just discovery, or it's not discovery, or it's discovery, or it's not discovery. But who admits that it's not discovery? Who admits that life is not about discovery? Who admits that life doesn't have direction? Who admits that life isn't open, or isn't available, or isn't there, or doesn't have stuff, or isn't fulfilling? Like, greatness abounds. It just seems like there's a dream thing, and then it just works out, and then things just only happen to make things better, more certain to the self. But what if this discovering is already discovering what was already there and just is there? And just isness. Just like that's what, there are things that are there that is isness, that it's about isness. And what are they doing? And it's just like, come on, that's so fascinating. But at the same time, it's just an aspect that's just outer worldly, when it's not outer worldly, when the aspects of it is just scorningly high. But I mean, it might be foreign, it may not be, but there's things that just happen that are just there, just to be there, or just the fibers that just have fibrosity. Like, no, nothing is just there to be there, actually, to be honest. But are there things that just stupid questions? But are there things there that need to actually be there, that aren't needing to be there? What does that even mean? It just sounds different. It don't make any sense. I hate the way it sounds. It doesn't make any sense at all. But, it does make sense to the clarity that doesn't exist. Because clarity isn't power, right? Clarity doesn't provide power. It's like saying I don't know anything about my show. Or I don't know anything about myself. Or I don't know anything about what I want to do, or what my purpose is. Or I don't know who I am, or I don't know where I'm from, or I just forgot, or just occurred in amnesia, and then just remembering, or just had an experience, or just had to restart all over, or just had to pick up some things and then didn't experience it, or just experience what I want to experience, and then experience goes away, and just greatness, right? Greatness. It's ridiculous, dude. There's so many things that are out there. There's so many things. So many things. I mean, it's like it seems so obviously clerical, clairvoyantly, clairvoyant, or whatever. Or just making up words, or just having to do with clairvoyance, clairsentience. But it just appears that things just flow out of just relative kingdoms, just to relatively convene in a relative manner, more or less. Just a maybe town, or half, who knows, half a planet, or like an asteroid. Publish, that's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to publish. Anyway, ridiculousness. Absolutely ridiculous that there's some alcove that has to do with some factor that we have to remember that has to do with just some ridiculous notion, some ridiculous object or something of theory that has some clarity to it. It's just ridiculous, dude. Who knows? Just gotta be patient, right? Oh my gosh. It's so great news. Oh my gosh, this reality is about to happen. Look what God put this reality into. Oh my goodness. Everything's coming together. Creation happened out of somebody's body or something. What a ridiculous creative metaphor is that? I don't know what's ridiculous about that, but who knows? Who knows? Who even has a delegation for something like that? Who does? Who's other than that? That's just ridiculous. I don't, what cares is for that? What cares for something as physical as that? It's physical. That's what I say. I think. Well, I've already said that. I'm not repeating that. It's already out there. It's already known. I want to be like Solera. I want to just be radiating in unconditional love, or just move my life super slow and just be like a Solarian, or however the heck you pronounce their term of knowledge, or wherever they are. Solarians. Celeritic or Celerites, Celeraz. Who knows? Who knows? Nobody even studies that. Nobody even cares about like having that be a study. Like that was an actual study. Obviously it's a study, but it's not a major study because we don't look at anything besides our planet, right? Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. We look inside the planet. It's like there's some massive crystal ray that's just pouring energy just on the. It's just ridiculous. 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 Like that's supposed to be inspiring. Like that's supposed to be caring. Like that's supposed to be factual work ethic, functionality. Like what's above that? What's below that? Like what's in the little itty gritties, nitty gritties? Like all that stuff. Like that's supposed to be exciting. Like that's supposed to be thrilling and wonderful and joyful and beautiful. Like all these little stuff. Like it just doesn't work anymore. Doesn't work anymore. It's just like it's just ridiculous. Like little anyway that it's like you got to go from here to here, and then you got to fill out all this stuff in the middle, and then when you fill out all this stuff, you got to go here, and then you got to go there, and you got to fill a bunch of stuff. Come on, who does that? Who does that? It's ridiculous. Some ridiculous thing. It's proportionate to something. Like it's gotta be. But that, like, how would I know? Like, how would I know that? Like, to be honest, okay, fine. Okay, I'll put it there. I'll be honest with, just say that, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that answer. But the point is, like, the freaking, maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should, whatever. The book is a book. Thesis, freaking equations are just freaking equations, and things just work out however they work out, and they don't culminate into anything, right? There's just no success in the absolute development, creational understanding that there's a formational possible theory for anything, for like what happened, just words, just letters, tones all put together. All just little joy, happiness, all this stuff is just for little rowing, little celebrations, little character announcements, little rewards and awards, and little gatherings of just happiness and just joy radiating and spouting from every little wafting corner of the nitty gritty little area that we consider to be a viable hearth, and little ridiculousness of cycles that go on and pertaining to time space. Ridiculous. Like, we have to pertain to time space. We gotta make sure that we have a schedule and that all the goals that we have fit inside that schedule. We gotta make sure that everything that you want goes super slowly, and that there's no way that you think that you can manifest a reality that has to do with anything other than time space. Like, time space is the only thing that there is, and there's nothing else you can do about it, because there's no way that you're going to get anything other than what you want out of doing nothing. And yeah, it just seems like there's some type of factual mentality that there isn't anything to do with something, that there isn't anything to do with benevolence or greatness or functionality or feng shui action. Like, this is just all just little stuff, like painting little things and little stuff, little gadgets, and little mendable creations, and just ridiculous little inventions. Like, all the stuff that having to do with those projects, those can culminate into projects, and culminated, and has to be past tense, but it's not. That's ridiculous. Yeah, it's got to be based on time space. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I just thought. Like, it just sent out a thought form, and it just went straight down, just sank. Just ridiculous. Like, that's one thought form. Like, there's no way that there would be another thought form. How is that, like, just in the reality of what doesn't happen? Like, how can I not be more confident? How can I not be more certain? Like, I'm just not motivated anymore. Oh, I'm just, like, not focused. I'm not determined. I haven't done anything. Like, the emotions that I have that aren't real, there's just no reason to even just try. Like, I shouldn't even just, like, try. Like, some just, like, fictional, ridiculous, proportionate scale leadership game. Just raise your hand when you know the right answer. Just cheer and go up and down and then just go down the slide and then wait. Or just kick off the new thing, new start with just some fancy old tradition. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like the same things. It's like it would be the same things, right? Because that's what it is. It's the same thing over and over. There's no difference. There's no transition. It's not a thing that just has anything. Okay, like what is up with that? Like first of all, what is up with that at all? And it's ridiculous. Okay, you know what? Whatever. It's just ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Like, what's the difference? Like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I honestly, you know, like, I really, I don't even know if I almost really don't care. I really don't care. That's not really what I want anymore. Oh, I'm gonna gotta go through Ashitar to make sure that we have C5 initiatives. Do you know how silly that sounds? That just sounds absolutely ridiculous. There's no way that this is it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's so silly. Just like, oh, I gotta give my responsibility to someone else so that maybe I'll just fascinatingly have some idea to do something else later on in time space for something that's always been here. But yet it's got some great derivative or some great digression that has nothing to do with anything that we're culminating or have been culminating or want to culminate or will culminate or anything that has to do with any type of future reality that's greater than something that's non-physical or physical, anything that's dense or anything that's in a lower vibration. Ridiculousness, just all meshed together, and it's just like, oh, there's no way to do things, there's no way to get things done, there's no way to it's just ridiculous. It just seems like maybe there might be a chance that multitasking might be a good option, and maybe it should be a good thing to consider, and maybe I should continue such an operation. Just maybe. Just likely. You know, who knows? Right, just because, you know, things just do what they want to do. Things just don't work at all. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculousness. It's just like a real thing, right? Right? Let's look selection continuation, please. One order of the time-space program, please. I'll just have the slow one. There's no purpose for me. I don't need to do something that's great. I don't need to do anything that's bad or good or anything. It's just blurring out emotions and just blurring out words, language, and all this ancient stuff that I know nothing about, but it's all about me. Who even knows what these memories are for? Oh my gosh. Like seriously. There is no way that there's any difference there's no way there's any difference. Like, just like, bum, 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 bum. It just goes back and forth like a little pendulum. It's just a little stick. There's only two realities. If you pick anyone that's different, I'm gonna say it's the other one. And there's no way you're gonna get it right, because there's only two ticks, and there's only two ticks that know the ticky thing to do. Ticky little ticks. What does that even make sense for? Like, what does that even have a purpose for? Like, how is that, like, what's great? How? How is that fantastic? How is that spontaneous? How is that, oh, okay, yeah, oh, well, maybe it's spontaneous. But, like, oh, no, that's a little bit of creativity in that. A little bit of creativity. A little bit of fun. A little bit of, tad bit of this, a little bit of that. And then just, come on, ridiculous. Like, this is the way it's gotta be. It's gotta be this way, man. Gotta be this way, bro. Like, there's no other way they can do something else. If you do something else, I'm just gonna be like, there's no, yeah, I don't want to be a come on, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And, like, there's no way that there should be something different. Right? It's ridiculous. Anyway. There's a lot more freedom in the world. There's a lot more, and the things, the focus that I want to get for this thesis, to be honest, which is so old already, is I want to go to the very place that is the prologue. Like, isn't that the great thing to do? And then, like, I think, like, oh, maybe those realities match. Okay, let's just be realistic. Like, I want those realities to match. And I gotta, like, go triple time, and just because, like, I don't know what anything's happening. It's ridiculous. Anyway. I just feel like some things should just go straight to music. Alright, so all the things that I'm doing is just, let's just focus on the inner stuff. I feel like we still need to focus on the inner stuff. If that's what we need to do, then we will do it. Something like Elohim, or something like light form beings, light beings that are majestic beyond measure. Ridiculousness. Co-creatively expanding all the creative, passionate networks. Connecting it with the Heart of Telos, and then connecting it with the Agartha network. Physically. There's got to be something physical about it. There's got to be something like that I can see. Like, and it's like I want feedback. Like, I want feedback for these projects, which are going to be the future or the past or the present. Like, honestly, that is a good thing. That is a really cool thing that I'm actually able to have all those things. That's what I'm reaching for. Past, present, and future. But the projects, and it's probably best just to be out of time, space in general. But the projects, anyway. I guess the truth is I am very happy. I am very content, and I really do care about all this stuff, and I just want a full-on, that's not good enough, though. I want a full-on goodness. Like, I gotta say what I want. Like, I want a full-on goodness. I want a galactic society that's fully functional, right? And then, like, nothing that's non-functional and nothing that's not fluid. Like, right? Like, that's what I want. Like, I gotta be ridiculous. Like that. I gotta be creative. Like, I gotta know what's best for others. Like, what I'm saying is, like, there's obviously, like, a perfect reality that is Project Hypercane, which, let's just say, for the sake of conversation, is the combination of Project Orion, by Stephen Greer. You know, he's the founder of Project Orion. Pretty sure. Could be incorrect, but I need to update that information or research that again. And the Venus Project by Jacques Fresco. Maybe it's Dr. Jacques Fresco. I'm not sure. I need to research that as well. And creates a reality where there's perfection. at least gist of like medical, and what I'm saying is like there's a gist of medical greatness, just where there's not stupid stuff happening anymore. And just because there's no way I'm going to repeat myself about everything that has to do with medicine. There's no way. Okay, and transportation, technology. Great, wonderful things. Wonderful. Just assume that they're out there. That's Project Orion. Venus Project, having it be a sustainable city that's like could be spirally, completely self-sufficient. The idea was for it to be research-based, but it could be even better. But it's a culmination, so it has the advanced technology and all that stuff, and you can go wherever you want, study whatever you want, and it's actually possible. I find that hilarious. I find that absolutely hilarious. There's some things that you just do that you won't win with, or you just will win with. It just becomes something else. It just becomes something completely different. It's just ridiculous. It just becomes like, it becomes what it's not. It becomes the goal. It becomes beyond the goal, and it becomes like, for example, when you're doing something like to an extreme amount, and there's still no, there's an absolute goal, which is just the goal of what was the reason that a task started in the first place. I should be learning to fly. Anyway, I'm digressing. Happened in the first place, which is the goal, which is like, okay, this is a target. I'm able to easily reach the target because it's just possible. Because I can. And it would be a good thing to have. And then when it hits the extreme, and then nothing happens, and then it's still just. I'm actually really excited about this, but I'm also trying to get to a point here, because, like, I'm not repeating. I don't want to repeat myself, or I just have to really, and that's obviously not happening. So what I mean to say is, obviously positive reality is still continuing, still spiraling. So just to have that Project Hypergate and be that, and have that never mind. It's like saying, like, this complicated thing that's not that complicated should be that, and that's what it is, and that's the thesis, and like, okay, so like, blah, 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 blah. Now it's complicated. Now, like, it's got facets, and it's got all these works and quirks and all this stuff, but, like, it still doesn't make sense for something to be so just convoluted that there's just no purpose for it. Like, there's been an absolute just, like, it's clear that it's not the best thing that there is, and it's clear that there's other things that could be done, and it's clear that there's different cities and different things that need to happen and different things that need to occur. But, like, there's no... It's an old alignment. It's an old theory. It's an old satisfaction realm that's old as ridiculousness. And it's just a cycle of do it again. But you're not doing it again. It's the consciousness of the collective that's doing it again. You're going the ride. You're on the ride. Hey, yeah. It's not a... Who knows if it's a ride? Who knows if it's just a fascinating maze? Like, I'm supposed to just circle in the maze, just go in the maze, just get that stuff, and then just do all that normal stuff and just do it. And then, like, that's supposed to give you all that stuff that you know will happen and attract the stuff that you need, right? The stuff that you need, the stuff that you want, stuff that you get, the stuff that all that stuff. It's ridiculousness. And what I'm not saying is not saying like, oh, now I want it. Anyway, ridiculousness. Project Rejuvenate, Project Vocal Earthshake, Project Immortalize, Project Hypercane, ultimately just the fourfold projects. The fourfold projects are just I don't know what to say it if I wouldn't or shouldn't say it simply. But I can say it simply. But the thing is, I'm not saying it again. I'm not repeating myself. It's ridiculous to say like, oh, the 4 fun projects and AJA and SJS and T, and it's just, come on, like, so, might as, this is ridiculous, dude. There's no reason to do things the way they were. There's no reason to. There's so many things that are completely new. Like, I feel like there's truth in those crystals. You know what? Because that's what we started off this conversation with, the Lemurian crystals, and how we will be allowed to have more crystals. Like, is that what was said? I don't think so. I don't remember. Who am I to say, like, when we're allowed to know and whatnot? Anyway. Allowed to have more crystal technology. No, I'm not saying that. Let's just say we're not allowed to. We are getting more crystal technology. Let's just say, like, we are getting more crystal technology. We are getting more crystal technology because there is no longer a reality that has to do with anything that has to do with war. Ta-da! It doesn't exist. There's no more of it. It's gone. It's just something else. Alright? I mean, come on, like... I don't get it. I don't get why... Who in the collective is doing that? I don't get it. Like, what am I not like, I don't have a... I don't know. I just have no... things just... I don't... What is... It's just... Crystal technology just... I mean, it's just like... It's like saying... It's almost like saying... No, like, I don't have a comparison. I don't. Crystal technology. Like... I literally don't know what to say. It's like crystal technology doesn't have to do with anything that has to do with the dedication that has to do with anything that makes anything better. At all. Like, there's just stuff that happens, and like, there's just no such thing as a crystal that actually lives and can breathe and can... Or they don't breathe, but can actually just... Like, come on, like... just be and just resonate, like... There's no way. There's just like, it's like there has to be... It's almost like there has to be something external. Like, but it's just ridiculous. Okay, so, like, here we go. Lemurian crystals, they're there. Okay, let's say we know the area. We know that they're submerged in the ocean. I know that for a fact. We know that for a fact. They're on the planet. They're everywhere. We know that for a fact. So let's say we go there. We go to the Pacific Ocean, you know? We dig down, bury deep. We start finding them. We're scanning or whatever, using whatever lame technology that we have to find these crystals to develop crystal technology. Okay, maybe we developed crystal technology, or maybe I developed crystal, or maybe crystals just communicate with us, like crystals are actual beings that have crystalline energy and DNA, which they do, and it's just like... crystals, they're in our... Anyway, it should be everywhere, but it's just like, anyway, crystal technology. So it's just like, okay, it's here. It's like, what else is going on? Like, what is going on that still has to do with, like, what could possibly be going on? What do you focus on? Like, what do you glean? Like, what do you gather? Like, what do you intel? What investigative process needs to be continued to allow for anything to exist beyond something not having something that's always been there. Something that's always been there, just existed and just been in plain sight, like this stupid patents. It's not about the patents, and it's not about all that ridiculous stuff, because that's probably old information, probably old stuff, and that's, I gotta say that because I have to. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. I'm not even gonna talk about the patents. It have to do with technologies that have been around for, like, whatever. It's the same. It's not the same thing. I want to say it's the same thing, but it's probably not the same thing. Who knows? It's probably some ridiculous alcove that has to do with repeating the same amazing reality over and over. Just tick, tick, tick. Go to the different one. Go to the different one. You don't have a... It's ridiculous. Anyway. It's absolutely ridiculous. Crystal technology is just... like I almost don't know what to say. It's like it's ridiculous, dude. Like, what do you do? Like, how do you encounter that? Like, every single okay, it's like a crystal. It's a crystal thing. It's just beams and it radiates energy. It just is a crystal. It is. It exists as this vibration that it radiates. It's a vibration. Like, it's the fact that we're talking about crystalline crystals, or just crystals themselves, is a vibration. It's gotta be. Like, if it's not a vibration, then, like, what are the crystals doing there? And the crystals either have been put here, or maybe they haven't been put here, or maybe they're just crystals that aren't that old, but they really are. Like, what do you do besides saying that crystal technology is just like, it's like, oh, goodness gracious. Dude, what do you do? Like, what do you say? Like, come on. Like, that's like the wonderfulness about it, right? That's the excellence that just is life. Like, just okay, you know what? Maybe people don't care. Maybe people don't care about crystal technologies. Maybe people don't care about just whatever it could be used for healing or for travel or whatever it could be used for. Because apparently that's like the only thing the project. It's not about the project. Maybe that's the only thing. It just doesn't matter, dude. Trying to talk about those certain things and allocating it to an advocation of something that already exists that may or may not have an avenue to go down because of some path that doesn't exist. Like, come on. Like, because of some path that doesn't exist, that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's actually... There has to be some way. There has to be some way that we can somehow reach just into something. Just reach into just anything. Just throw a freaking something. Just score for just some way that we can have just an inkling of just perhaps maybe a small just something. Maybe even just a hidden sparkle of a electrode inside the neurons, just electricity, just to maybe even just do something as far as spark an idea to perhaps have an avenue that maybe might have something that we can reach in the past or into the future, or maybe even to the present. Who knows, dude? To get to these crystal technologies, or to have something to do with these crystal technologies, or have to do something with these crystals. And it seems like that's happened because there's a way to get to technology that gets to the vision of seeing the crystals, so that vision has to exist. So it's like how do you talk about a vision that doesn't have a vision? It's like the vision doesn't work because the steps that get you to the vision don't exist. It's like the steps to go from like some sort of realm that is not possible because there's no way the vision could be manifest without steps, has a manifest realm that'll get to something. to some thing realm. And it has to be some environment. It's got to be. It has to be benevolent. So it's like, oh, now it's a waiting game because now it's a timeline. There's steps to get there, and okay, then you get there, then you step and succeed. Like that's like success. That's like when you like, okay, that's wonderful. Like just going and getting the little vision, and then saying like that's the vision, and then saying like the vision is complete. I guess you could say the vision is complete. Okay, now the vision's over, and next thing, like there's a new vision, and maybe the vision will go bigger. Like what is up with that vision? There's nothing else to say. This is just like that's just all you can do. Just vision. Your vision is a vision. It's just a vision with steps that have to go into some bigger realm or some other fascination of some space or some time or some time frame or just it's ridiculous. And I was thinking, like, I'm supposed to... Who does that? I probably will. You gotta say first things first. I still plan on doing that, but that's just so ridiculous. There's gotta be a better way, and there is. And I would love for it to have to do with crystal technologies. And if it doesn't have to do with it, then fine. Or if it doesn't have to do with benevolence environments, then fine. Or if it doesn't have to do with vision, or my vision, or vision at all, then fine. If it doesn't have to... I just... That's funny right there. I don't care who you are, that's funny. It's just vision works, or vision ethics, or vision... Who knows? Maybe it should be something. Anyway. Perhaps the ancient... And it's not even that old. But who even knows, dude? But... I just don't... I literally don't know. Like, maybe there's... a vision speak, or non-vision speak, or maybe there's just... Dude, it's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say about it. But there is the possibility of going... I gotta say... But it's in the... It's gotta... I don't know what to say. Maybe it's in the vision, maybe it's not. Maybe people want stuff, maybe they don't. Maybe there is something about the correlation of collective consciousness, maybe there isn't. Maybe consciousness is above matter, maybe it isn't. Like, how can you say consciousness is not above matter? Consciousness is above matter. It really is. It's just... I don't know what I'm saying. It just sounds ridiculous. A culmination of something about the energies and about the stuff. It's just repeating that culmination. Is it really? Or is it like just actually sincere stuff happening? It's like a... It's great. It's absolutely great. It's great. It's a great project, right? I believe in myself enough to have this project be a vision, and then have the vision be the reality, and then have the reality be the vision. Have the reality be the vision. Come on. The truth is, things have happened that are different, that makes differences between February and May, or February and whatever this month is, March, April, February and April, and now May. So, because like there were channelings that happened that were recorded that have to do with Cryon, and there's the backyard analogy, and there's also the healing energy, the remembrance of the healers, and then there's the fact that DNA is awakened to a higher percentage. And there's, of course, the crystalline collective and the Elohim, who have connected and talked about the 7 sacred flames, and sacred flames have been talked about as well. And there's also Adam of Telos, and of course the archangels. The archangels, like archangel, the archangels is basically what I'm saying, and obviously they talk about creation of light, beings of light, connections of light, like vessels of light, or just connections to the light and to creative source and connections to source, and the colors and the rays, and of course there has been channelings having to do with many different like masters too. So just different masters, Surface Bay, Master Cthulhu, etc., etc. So like these things have changes and impacts, and they definitely occurred. There are things that have occurred. There's Lemurian Remembrance. There's Spavo. There's just many different facets of the uniqueness to our kingdoms, like the animal kingdom, the mother segment, and the feline race. Also, non-physical aspects, the Arcturians, of course, but also there's the Palladians have had. Yeah, that's true. The Palladians have had a major impact. Kara and, for example, I know the name, and Mira, I know her name. And just actually very major impacts, actually. And they have to do with consciousness, just higher vibrational realities of being happy, and having to do with the self and the energy that we have in our bodies and in our chakras. And, kind of ourselves, like a little bit about ourselves, like a different perspective of ourselves. The Palladians and Arcturians, and Antarians are involved as well. And the Severe Being Alliance, and there's been interactions. I know I've seen this year, what would be called a UFO sighting, so I've seen that. That's good. That was thrilling. I was just oh, I gotta do something. It was pretty cool. And what's ironic is the project is non-existent. Near non-existent. Because how could it even come into existence without it being something more than it is? Without being an actual, actually having to do something with, other people, for example. Or just having to do with anything. Or just having to do with, reality. Or just coming to terms with it. Or just, literally, it just is. It's Project Hypergame. I mean, it's it's been oh gosh, dude. It is what it, it's what it, it's like, it is what, it's like Project Hypergame. It's a project. Was there no difference? Was there no transition? It's just just typing the words, and just put it on paper, and then having the report written about it, and then it just kind of went, no, there's nothing more. Okay, now we're gonna go this way, and then this Project Hypercane doesn't exist. It's it really does exist. And why I bring that up is because of ridiculousness. The vision. Visions are strong. But the thing about visions is that Project Hypercane is, why would I oh my gosh, dude, like, I don't know what to say. Like, it is so great and just so beautifully crafted as it is. It's just such a great work of art. That is just a masterpiece work of art. It's just like art form in form and just being what it is. It's just Project Hypercane. This is Project Hypercane. I mean, like, it's serious. Like, really. So, there's vision aligned to it. And, and like having the vision that created that thing in the first place obviously has some creator attributes to it. So, it seems so clear to me just how true it is. And it's like a thing. It's a creative expression. It's just it's something that's good. Like I mean, I guess there could be more. Like, should there be more? Oh my gosh. I think this is way back when. But it's just... Gosh, it's just... I feel like there are things that just need relaxation. Because, like, I've been doing Project Hypercane for so long, like, it's not like I've been doing, oh gosh, I don't even know what to say. It's like saying, like, I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. Project Hypercane is an excellent project that has to do with the culmination of a very, very, very strong greatness. But it seems like the greatness is originating from higher vibrations. And I'm actually coming to terms with this because it seems like, because if there's so much, it just seems like there's constant, what I would call like origin level, primordial force level surprise. Because, okay, so that's what it is. It's a galactic society. Because I'm kind of thinking about this in my mind, like what aspects could really culminate into why things have happened in a certain way. And what's amazing is like they all speak about it as if it's like a celebration, and like things have already been accomplished. So like the galactic society is what it is the pretty much goal, and to actually create heaven on earth. And the announcing was, heaven on earth is being paved, or that was like a book that was written, or excuse me, an article that was written. And so like Project Hypercane is just like a living, a galactic society, and it seems like, since there's older, Project Hypercane has to do with just the creation of galactic society. It doesn't necessarily say like a Gaian galactic society, like belonging to Gaia, which is actually pretty amazing. Just saying that Gaia has more than just her planetary body. You're thinking of Gaia as spreading out into the galaxy. That'd be pretty cool too. So like, it's just really remembering the fact that like when you like when we have something like Project Hypercane, when it comes to Galactic Society, it just seems like the ones that are already there and already been developed, for example, into the Galactic Society, are kind of like celebrating it. So like, because it has to exist, it has to come into existence from something, from like a creative source, and so that seems to be the source kind of thing. And it's just like, or like the source is, Galactic Society, paving heaven on earth and all that stuff. So, like, maybe it's me that talks so casually about it, but anyway. Um, yeah, so like, it's in the high vibrations, so that's kind of just why it is what it is, in terms of how it's culminating into the fact that it's a galactic society, and how there are connections that, Mount Shasta and Agartha has, and the Inner Earth and the Hollow Earth has with the other parts of the galaxy. And is I was not. I realize now that I actually wasn't very specific, and that and I had a lot of intention behind it, and of course that was on purpose, and there's a lot of purpose and force behind it. But it's like it's also like I don't know how to say it without the school, because here's the thing that I'm thinking: you gotta teach it through the school, but like. That's probably more biography sort of thing or literature. But even still, like, it's probably we're no longer. It's like I have to. Yeah, that's the truth. It's no longer about talking about with things that like as they are. It's about talking about things that we just know. Like that's something that you just know because you just know it's a creative thing that came into being, like Galactic Society. I didn't say Gaian creates a Galactic Society. I didn't say we are joining in with the galactic societies that exist around. I didn't even say like it had to do with the galaxy, and all the galaxies that we live in, the Milky Way, should be. Or I didn't even say that it's just, wasn't even really specific about society. The fact that it's a society that is a part of the society that we have now, or is a part of other people's society? Is this a completely new society? Whose society is this? Is this the old Galactics? Is this the new Galactic? Is this Nova Gaia, or is this just Gaia? Is it Gaia's society? Is it Gaia's collective, or is it just the galaxy's collective, or is it multiple galaxies' collective? Is it like a universal awareness that there's a society that's galactic, and that's just a part of the universal aspect? So, like, I never really went into the nitty-gritty for that. So, like, when you put that into perspective, so now it's like I'm not saying anymore that I want to work towards Project Hypercane for what I think it is. It's now to say that it's an entity that's creative and has creative expression, and that it's now something that I know, something that we know, something that you know, something that they know, something that, like, we know. And it actually has to do with something that's more of a primordial, has more of a primordial origin than not. And so, and then you have connection with that because it's something that you developed or created or, supported, and that's what it is. And that's what it is. It's not. That's just. It's like, it's not the same system as what I was saying before, which is a very weird statement. First of all, it's not the same system as the system of getting money from working. It's not a reward-based system that has to do with, you do something and then you get sustainability for it, and then if you keep doing something, then you have continued sustainability. It's just something that is created. It's a creative expression. Perhaps it is that because there is a light side to that. There is like a higher vibrational aspect of that, and of course that sounds great. But more importantly, more specifically, it's just like it's Project Hypercane. So it's like they're I don't know how to say it. But it's like there's a lot more of like it's always been that way. Like, that's just how it's been. It's like, it's always been that way. There's a lot more of that. But, like, in the positive aspect. Because, like, crystal technologies, and it just gets me thinking, like, the crystal technologies have always been there. So, you know, like, you've always been in tune with the... And it's just like saying, like, dear ones, like, that was really actually impact for me. Like, that was so much deep love I felt. Like, he said, like, dear ones, like, we came to Lemuria and developed on Lemuria, and then had all these crystals, and then went underground. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful creation story, and it's really is high vibrational, and it really does feel good, and I really have made an impact, and that's what the thing is actually, and that's not the thing. That was also true. Like, there's a lot of proper criticism, especially, for example, against abuse, which is proper, and it was like, you know, and I feel like they felt that guilt. Like, everybody felt that guilt of what it's like to feel that guilt of, like, being guilty for, like, not doing anything that has to do with, like, not really fighting for a trafficking thing. You're not really supporting it, and I support it, like, fully with my body, and so it's like, and with a whole bunch of other things, like with the projects and with my demos, with my demonstrations, and with my videos, and with my accelerations, and with my creations, and with my artistry, art creation, creative artistry, all that stuff, and then et cetera, et cetera. So like it's like saying, like, it's always been here, and I really felt the love when he said that, or when he wrote that. Or, like, when he, like, you know, sends out that love. Like, I really feel that love. That has to do with the fact that, like, you know, we are together. Like, we are a family. Like, we're one family. And we are together, you know? And it's like, that's how it always was. And it's like, it's just, you know, it's that cool. Like, our consciousness is... The thing is, my focus is more on consciousness. That's probably my mastery. Yeah, that's it. That's actually what my mastery is. It has to do with mind. It doesn't have to do with anything that has to do with mind. It actually just is mind. My mastery is like, yeah. So, consciousness feels good. I love you all. This is your host, Christopher Uncle Curtis Bowen, on this Christopher Bowen show, edition, like, 140 something, or 150 something, maybe 160 something. I need to double check. And this is afternoon edition, and there's lots of love. I love you all.